Hey everyone, it's Neville from Nevin SF. Thanks for dropping by my channel. In today's video, I am going to share one of my dumbest financial mistakes and financial moves I've made over the years, and it totally ties in with my dating life. Second, I was just thinking about my love life and how I'm navigating through trying to be active in the dating world, and wanted to share some tips that I feel help me stay financially in tune with my goals financially, but also being clear with my intentions of dating. So I guess I'll kick off the story with just a really dumb financial move that cost me, I'm scared to admit this publicly, but it was $5,000. Was kind of in this stage, actually it's probably more than $5,000 now that I think about it, because I signed up for all of the apps and signed up for the membership. So Hinge, Bumble, you name it, I signed up for the annual subscription. I also forgot to cancel some of them, and even though I stopped using them, it renewed, so that was pretty annoying. I think that was OkCupid. So they got a pretty good hefty amount of money from me, which didn't end up resulting in a relationship, maybe some dates. The biggest move I made was just this whole fantasy and idea of finding a matchmaker and paying for a service. I ended up finding a matchmaking service. They took me out for dinner and I talked about like who would be compatible for me. And the whole theory about this was it was endless introductions, but as soon as I met up with someone, the dates were counting towards, I think it was a goal of 4 or 5 introductions. Anyways, none of them panned out, and it cost $5,000 to sign up with the service. I know, crazy, but I was mentally thinking like, this is an investment for my future, my life. I realized that I probably should have just gone out, meet with people, get out, and just meet people the natural way. Anyways, the dates were all so-so or disastrous. Unfortunately, it kind of panned into the pandemic and I was not able to finish all my dates, and I've called and unfortunately they're no longer responding. Anyways, my lesson here is that I made a pretty big financial move. Kind of regretful, but also I own that part of my decision. I knew what I was getting myself into, but now I'm just naturally meeting people and getting out, joining the gym and going to classes and just talking to people. And when people say yes, come out, I go out. Anyways, I also wanted to talk about just being active in a dating life and how I'm navigating through that with my personal goals, being in line with my personal goals financially. As most of you know who follow me, I am trying to pay off a HELOC. I am about $46,000 away from paying that off. It's gonna take a while. And on top of that, I wanna like beef up my cash, so I sell this condo, move into a bigger space in the city that I love of San Francisco. So how do you do this while trying to get out and meet people in a dating capacity? I believe that if I ask you out, I am going to pay for whatever that event is. Down to pay for dinners, I'm down to pay for drinks. But knowing that I want to be careful how I spend my money, I came up with just a few ideas to help navigate through this. So step number 1 is to be very clear with my intentions. I decided to upgrade and update all my profiles so it's very clear that I am here for dating, getting to know people, being in a long-term relationship. And as you get into a conversation with whoever this person is, I also ask, is your intention to date? And if the answer is no, or they're slow to respond, or you just know that there's a feeling of they're not being serious, I don't know if it's worth meeting in person. Or you wait for that person to make the first move. However, if the person says yes and you vibe and you click, then of course, let's ask you out on a date. I don't want to waste time in back and forth chatting. Before you meet, my other suggestion is to make sure you're 100% compatible. So yes, I've been reaching out to a lot of profiles. However, like as soon as I have an interest, I want to review the profile one more time, just in case, right? So it's about like, are they compatible with where they live? Are they too far from San Francisco? How would that work out? I also think about, are we compatible from potential likes and interests? Because sometimes you may not have the same interests or values, and that could be challenging. Keep in mind, I also recommend being open-minded, but you also have to be realistic. So after all that's done and done, you have your intentions, they're both in alignment. You both have very clear goals of what this meeting is for. You both feel that you are compatible to meet with each other. And then third is actually meeting up. And so my recommendation, and what has really worked for me, is being the first to offer a suggestion, whether do they prefer to meet for coffee, tea, or cocktails. And yes, I will pay for it, but I also want to be strategic in where we're gonna meet in the city. Like, you know, is it convenient for both of us? And if it is convenient for both of us and we're meeting somewhere in the middle, can I cut a few dollars by catching the Muni or, you know, public transportation, catching a Lime bike or, you know, a Lime scooter? That would work too. And whoever I am going to meet with should be okay with that. And sometimes it's just nice to enjoy a walk around the city. So you don't have to spend a lot of money during your dating world. What tips do you have for the rest of the community? If you leave a comment below, please share what works for you as you're trying to actively date, and also be mindful of your financial goals. Well, I want to thank you for dropping by the channel, and please hit a like button if this resonates with you. And if you want to follow with more content, I just like to share things about my life in alignment with my financial goals and wellness. Be sure to visit my blog at nevinasaf.com. And until next time, I appreciate you dropping by, and I'll see you later. Bye.